Okay, so we're entering the black market here, and as I previously stated, I don't remember anything about this. As always, I'm just rushing in. I mean, that is pretty much my standard fare on the black market. It's pretty unfortunate that the hired hand was sitting right there, but I was lucky enough to get past that without a problem. Now I'm picking up the blood of those frogs, because that is always important, of course. And the top floor is clear already. There's also the damsel shop, which means we have both the damsel shop and the or the kissing booth, as it's called, the kissing booth and the hired hand store here. So that's kind of unfortunate, because that is two potential shops we could have had. I think the kissing booth is always there. I'm not 100% sure though. Now this shopkeeper right there on the ladder is pretty unfortunate, because he prevents me from throwing bombs down there. I'm trying to circumvent this here, as you can see, and I almost managed to sneak bomb through, but I don't. But luckily I stick this guy on the first bomb here, so it's not that big of an issue. I would have liked this guy to bomb free some of the gold that is hidden in the walls here, but he didn't. Anyway, I'm checking out what's down there, and it's pretty unfortunate. Like, it's 9 ropes and that's about it. So that kind of sucks. So all in all, that really wasn't the best black market. I do have 46 bombs. Which I can use to mine some gems, obviously, but that's pretty much about it. I would have preferred at least some spring shoes, if not a jetpack, but well, the black market wasn't really kind to me. And this is almost like, this is one of the rare cases where the shopkeepers went down so quickly that I actually have to wait for the ghost. And I cut here to the place where the ghost appears. Also, I did notice a fish down there in the pond, so I shot that, and the ghost is about to appear. Yeah, there she is. So this is one of the rare cases. Usually the ghost already comes for me when there's still the shopkeeper at the exit alive, or at least some on the third level, where the third set of shops is, you know. But this time I was pretty quick about that, and I mean, that is always kind of good. It's pretty much a good thing always, when you don't have to worry about any shopkeepers with the ghost following you around. I always said that, but especially on the black market, where there are like 8 shopkeepers, I believe. Yeah, there's 8 shopkeepers from the get-go on the black market, so it's always good if none of those is alive at this point. So this is the good old boring ghosting here on the black market. I think I have everything ghosted already that is relevant. I should have bombed some gems here, because really 45 bombs are way too much to have at this point. Like, way too much to have and not use them, because there's a shit ton of gems I could just bomb free, because there's no way I'm using 45 bombs on Olmec and Hell, really. Anyway, there's an idol. Always a no-brainer, especially on the jungle, of course, because that is a free 10 grand I can grab. So that really isn't an issue, and obviously I'm trying to set up here everything here, checking if I can get back up, if I need a rope, all that good stuff, because I obviously want to ghost those 2 gems up there in the water. Like, at this point I'm obviously trying to ghost everything. Also, I kind of need to item juggle here, which sucks, because I really don't like doing that. And the floor, as you can see, I'm always already forced at this point to use at least 2 ropes, which sucks. Always a bad thing when you have to waste your ropes. Luckily I have 12 of them, or I have 13 to begin the floor, so it's not that big of an issue, but as I said, I would have loved to save my ropes, obviously. Especially since I don't have a jetpack, I'm going to need my ropes for the ice caves. So this shopkeeper is in a pretty convenient position. I have no idea what I'm doing there. I should just have stood where I am right now and started shooting him, but luckily that isn't that big of an issue. The shopkeeper goes down really easily, and we can manage to continue this floor unharmed. So there's a few gems, obviously I want to ghost all of those. I'm just checking out the rest of the floor to see where I can ghost, where I probably can't ghost. Get rid of all the enemies that could cause trouble. Because you don't, like, really those cavemen, while they aren't going to outright kill you, they still pose the threat of stunning you, and you don't want to be stunned with the ghost following around you. Obviously, because if the ghost, like, those guys taking 1 health from you really isn't a big deal, but them stunning you for the ghost to get you is a pretty big deal. Because the ghost obviously insta-kills you. But at this point there's not really a lot I can fear, and that is pretty much the biggest mistake I did in this run, like not fearing anything. And that's pretty much the biggest mistake I do in most runs, like feeling too safe. I think that is a big problem you get, like, in the middle of a run. Also, I cut here, just in case you might have noticed from the music, if you listen to the music, that is. Because I wanted the ghost to appear, obviously, and I was finished with the floor, I just had to wait for the ghost. Like, well, as I was saying, a big part of dying in Spelunky really is not paying attention, and not in the sense of just not being aware of things, but in the sense of, well, I'm safe here, I've come this far, like pretty much the black market is behind you, and you think, well, what could possibly go wrong? Well, shit could possibly go wrong. Pretty much everything in this game can possibly go wrong. And that is so, like, as I said in previous episodes, the mines, for example, are the most scary part of this game. But that doesn't mean the rest of the game isn't scary. Like, it's quite the opposite. Like, this game in its entirety is scary. Like, one mistake and it can be all over, and as you can see, all those beautiful 500 grand I almost have here. Well, let's say 475, I'm a good deal away from 500, but that all that money you have amassed within, at this point, over 45 hours of 45 minutes of play would be gone with one slip, with one throw you can make. Anyway, leaving this floor, 480. It's pretty good. Pretty good. As you can, yeah, we are at 46 minutes, so that wasn't even an exaggeration. I was just, excuse me that I paused there for a second, but I was like, well, hired hand, pick up the shotgun. Like, if he totally could have picked up the shotgun there and just shot the shopkeeper in his face. Shot the shopkeeper? Shopkeeper, yeah, that's what he's called, right? He could have just shot him, like, take the shotgun. Also, I had the weirdest thing happen to me today in an unrecorded run, but I was on my way to get a plasma cannon to the City of Gold once more. I failed, by the way, spoilers. And I had the hired hand trap me. Like, I exited the mothership, my hired hand had a shotgun, I had the plasma cannon, and the next level, there was like a little spot to fall down right next to the exit, and I fell down to the floor, and the hired hand was standing on an upper ledge, and he just kept firing for no reason with the shotgun, pretty much locking me in. And I had to time it so I could jump out of it. Like, he was just sitting there constantly firing. I was fearing for my life, obviously. Like, living in fears of that guy maybe killing me. Like, well, back to run. I check out what's down there and I see a big spike pit. And I decide for myself, like, rather than navigating the damsel through there, I'm just gonna hit her 3 times, take her blood, and move on. She's dead now, but I won't have to worry about her. And I would have had a lot more trouble trying to get her to the exit instead of just killing her. And this vault here gives me nightmares. But you're gonna see for yourself what I mean. I'm killing the shopkeeper here, and I'm doing pretty well, I have to say. Like, preventing him from getting to me. Also, I like how he fell exactly on the spikes there, but that is another thing. He was dead already anyway. So I kept the shopkeeper away from me so well, and now just watch just watch this. I would love to say nothing, but I don't want to keep this uncommented actually. So I'm thinking about this, and the ghost appears, and I just randomly decide for myself I have the time to kill the shopkeeper instead of running away. And for some reason I think for a good 5 minutes, and I corner myself pretty much. The shopkeeper jumps up, and there's no way I'm getting out of this. I'm dead. He just gets me. I got cornered. I didn't really get cornered, like I cornered myself. I did get cornered by my own stupidity, and I'm pretty bitter about that. And I am this close to just jumping on this spike, on those spikes down there. But I decide not to. I'm like, well, this is a pretty good score I have here going, 500. Also, I don't see this shotgun down there. Like, there's a shotgun which I could just grab and kill the shopkeeper with, but for some reason I don't see it. Even though it's probably easier to pay attention to these things when you're not playing. Anyway, what I was saying, I was this close to just killing myself here and starting a new run. But then I was like, well, this is jungle 2-3, I believe. 2-3 or 2-4. We're in the jungle, that's what I'm trying to get across here. And I have 500 grand. 500 grand. So this has a good possibility to be a really amazing Olmec run. Maybe world record Olmec run. I didn't know off the top of my head, obviously, what was the world record at this point for a non-hell run, for non-City of Gold run, I shall say. But whatever. I don't even know what the record is. Like, when I checked the rankings after this run, I saw 2 people having more money than me after finishing 4-4. But you never know if they did go to the City of Gold or something like that and just messed up the hell entrance or something like that. But whatever. So I'm still thinking about how to kill this guy, and I don't see this shotgun for some reason. There's a shotgun next to this caveman, and somehow I don't see it. I mean, now I have no chance to see it, obviously, because it's hidden behind those guys. But I could have taken that, and that would have made my life a lot easier. Now I still have this shopkeeper running around, threatening me, and I hear him fall on spikes here, and the music stops playing, and I'm so happy. So happy he's dead. So there's a vault that's waiting for me to ghost it. And as I said, I'm kind of bitter about this because the hell run obviously is over. But I still have high hopes for a good Olmec run, for a record Olmec run or something along those lines. Now the ghost doesn't get all the gems, so I'm still thinking about how to do this. I see the opportunity to get 2 gems for 1 bomb, and really I should do more to ghosts, like to bomb 3 single gems. I don't know why I didn't do that. I could easily have gotten the best 4-4 run on the leaderboards if I had played this properly, if I had played this to the max, because as you're going to see at the end of the run, I'm going to have so many bombs left at the end of this. It's not even funny. But anyway, I have my eyes set on this vault here, and I just realized that everything was ghosted from me going to the right there. Probably that was probably my intention, but I just didn't think of that right now. So the jungle is completed with almost 600 grand. So this is pretty amazing, obviously. And now I'm on the ice caves with at least climbing gloves and a cape, which is pretty good. And there's the vault right away, which always makes me happy, as you might know by now, because obviously that instant vault means I won't have to worry about it for the rest of the ice caves. So this UFO gets stuck in the worm entrance, and I don't know the implications of that yet, but I don't like it too much, let me tell you that. I really didn't like it. So there's a shopkeeper. I'm thinking about how to kill this guy without his money going to waste. But I have no idea, obviously, what I can do here. And the music still plays, and I don't see the guy, so I'm assuming he's dead. And the music is only playing because of the vault keeper. So I'm just deciding. I just decided to move on. I also don't have spike shoes, which is kind of a big issue. Not because I can't kill those guys in one hit, because that was what made me aware of it. But having no spike shoes on the ice caves means the ice is going to be slippery. which always sucks, obviously, because ice physics and platformers are the second worst thing in the world, right after underwater physics, pretty much. Anyways, I decided to bomb through that guy, and I didn't want to take the risk of him killing me or something like that, so I just decided to leave him and let him jump into the abyss. Also, he did leave 2 gold bars for me, which is kind of nice of him, and doesn't happen too often. So I'm taking my time before the ghost appears to use those mines to the greatest effect. And a cut is upcoming here, so I guess the ghost is going to appear in a few seconds. Yeah, there she is. And thus, let the ghosting begin. And this is insane looking at this still. I'm still, like, looking back at this, I'm so sad that I died on this run. I have 600k at the beginning of... got a yawn there. Excuse me. I got 600k at the beginning of the ice caves, and I don't even have the vault yet. And look at how many gems there are still left. This is ridiculous. This is ridiculous. There's another 2. And I could have even used my bombs at this point. Still don't know why I didn't do it, but I didn't do it, and that's a lot of wasted money, of course, which I could also, like, a lot of money I should have had at this point, and also a lot of money I could have additionally gotten still at this point of the game, which is pretty tragic. As I said, I could have gotten the best 4-4 run on the leaderboards if I just had used more bombs here. On the ice caves, it's pretty much mandatory to get every single gem stone if you do have the bombs for it. Like, it's nothing wrong with saving 4 or 5 bombs for emergency situations, even when you have a plasma cannon. There can be situations where you would rather have a bomb than only your plasma cannon. But still, I have 36 bombs. There's no way you only need, still, even if you want to do the safe strat for Olmec, you only need 8. 8 bombs is the maximum you need to kill Olmec. So there's really no excuse for keeping those. And since I knew I would take a plasma cannon to Olmec, that really wasn't an issue either, because I would have a plasma cannon to just get rid of the entire floor pretty much. I'm at 700. This is so insane. 700 after Ice Caves 3-1. So there's a ruby down there I could have gotten. I could have gotten that sapphire too. I'm totally getting that. That's not a sapphire, that was an emerald. Whatever, you know what I mean. So I'm starting the bomb here, which is kind of good, realizing I should have done that years ago, probably. And that UFO up there really is really annoying, I can tell. And at this point I knew why I didn't like the UFO getting stuck in there, because that thing was just sitting there shooting at me whenever it pleased to. So there's another UFO I want to get rid of. I'm usually trying to kill all of these UFO things. I can't imagine I don't place a bomb here, yeah, because there's also a lot of gold I'm gonna get access to, even though most of it probably falls somewhere where I can't find it. I randomly pick up some gold here, and I got a yawn again. Oh my god! What the hell? It's not even that late, and how that platform didn't crush that gold is beyond me, but I'm happy it didn't. Anyway, I decided to finally leave 732 grand. This is insane. And I still don't know how I didn't manage to get a best 4-4 score. And I still didn't know how I managed to get myself killed on the jungle, but well. Anyway, checking out the situation here. I'm super cautious here, obviously, because I know I can't die at this point anymore. And not having a jetpack really makes the ice caves a lot more dangerous, obviously. Like, climbing gloves is fine. Climbing gloves are fine, but a jetpack really gives you a lot more safety, obviously. Jetpack is just so good. Jetpack is pretty much OP. It's almost an overpowered item, I guess. I mean, it's obviously balanced in a way that it is so rare, but but still, you encounter it way too often still, I believe. Also, give me a second here, excuse me. Okay, I'm sorry, I had a cough there really badly. So I'm continuing my quest through this, and this Mo I had really makes me sad once again. And like, looking back at this, I don't know why I picked up the damsel, because I could just have left her where she was and bothered with her later. But for some reason I decided to take her to the exit now while the shopkeeper is still alive. So no idea what I was thinking behind that, but I do realize at this point that it's better to just keep her over there until I finish my business with the shopkeeper. So I'm shooting this UFO in hopes of hitting him for some reason, and this is pretty much the worst possible scenario for me to be facing the shopkeeper. Now luckily I can blow a hole in there, and I wait until he faces left and just activate him, or just anger him, that is. Because as soon as you anger shopkeepers, they start running. So I tried successfully, obviously, I tried to make him run into the abyss as soon as he notices me. Now at this point I need to waste a shit ton of ropes, I believe. I do think I remember something like that. If I'm lucky it's only one, but I do seem to remember it was a lot more than one rope. So Ghost is already here, which isn't that big of a deal, because we're on the ice caves. So it's like, if it's not a wet fur level, it's pretty impossible for her to catch you. Like, as soon as you get stunned, you pretty much fall into the abyss. So it's not really a matter of worrying about the ghost, but more a matter of worrying about the unknown depths below. Which is obviously a direct quote from Binding of Isaac, just in case you were wondering, or just in case you noticed that it was from Binding of Isaac. Even though I guess like the phrase "the unknown depths below" isn't only used in Isaac, so it's not really a direct quote. It's not really a direct quote per se, but whatever. I'm thinking of Binding of Isaac when saying that. Great game, by the way. Do plan to take part in the Binding of Isaac Racing League next season when Rebirth comes out. Super excited for Rebirth. Totally gonna do that. And I hope I'll have Meat Boy finished by the time that, or I have Meat Boy in the endless state, in the custom level state, to put it like that. So I really do wonder why I didn't speed this up now that I see it, because this is really boring, to be honest with you. It's not really that anything is happening there. I'm just grabbing walls and wait for the ghost to ghost a single gem. Not really such a... It's not really a good amount of money that is to be found on this floor. But obviously I'm trying to get every cent, every nickel that I can find here to boost my score, because I have my eyes set on this record that I want to set at this point. I mean, I thought I was within reach of the record, and no doubt I was. No doubt I was. So I'm trying to set this. I'm a rankings freak, just in case I never mentioned and you didn't notice so far. I'm really into competitive rankings and stuff like that. Whenever a game I like has a world ranking of some sorts, I'm one to take part in it. I'm one to be. I don't want to say I'm usually a contender for top spot, because usually I'm in the middle. But in a game like Spelunky, I can really feel that I can get into the top 10 at least in the world. I hope I can. Also, Shopkeeper gets angered there for some reason, and there's a lot of rubies up here that I want to get. And at this point I must have realized that I won't be able to get rid of all my bombs, which is kind of sad, obviously. But as you can see, there's a lot more gems on this floor than on the last one, and I'm pretty happy about that. And so also the game is giving me more gems, which is good too. It's not only in the walls that there are more gems, but the game gives them to me too. For some reason I get the damsel active again. No idea what I was thinking there. Also, rather than whipping her a third time, I decide, well, maybe she makes it through the exit. No idea how I thought that would happen, but I did. Not that it mattered in the long run, because at this point, like most hits will probably kill me, but still, it was just a bad thing to do. It was just dumb. On the temple, I could maybe have used that extra hit. But whatever, I did it. I can't change that right now. I'll just make sure to not do the same thing later on. Also, this looks like there should be an idol head. I was wondering about this, like, did something happen to that idol? Is that even possible? Like, if a mine, like, if something explosive had landed on there where the idol head was, it would clearly the ground, clearly those ice platforms would break, wouldn't they? Or are they just immune to explosions and I didn't notice? Also, like, there was no reason for me to pick up the sapphire, really. I just could have left it where it was, but whatever. There was the UFO in this floor, was it? I have no idea. No, this is... I think this is 3-3, but I have no idea. So I'm waiting for the ghost here. And as you can see, I have a shit ton of gems to ghost here. So this is going to be a lot more interesting than that last floor, where I ghosted like 2 or 3 gems. Anyway. That's the first 3, and I generally don't memorize any paths or something like that. Like, I roughly know where the gems are. I'm probably like a squirrel in that regard, knowing where my gems are in most scenarios, but just don't remember all of them. Kind of comparable, isn't it? I have no idea. It's like those squirrels that they just bury their stuff they need in autumn, and just like that forget some of those, and thus I remember where my gemstones are and forget some, and that is why I usually have to take 2 or 3 extra laps around the levels to make sure I've gotten all of the gems possible. Anyway, I still wonder where that idol head went, because, like, no doubt there was an idol head over there to the left side. But, well, because I can't change that. But there's another 15 grand that I just missed. And that is kind of sad. That's really sad, actually. 15k. That is 3 diamonds, 3 gemstones. So this is the last one, I believe, and then we go to the exit. No, this is the last one. Then I take my 2 or 3 extra laps just to make sure there aren't any gemstones left, and then we go to the exit. Do we go to the exit? We go to the exit, right? Nope. There's the extra lap. Oh no, that was a quarter of an extra lap, I guess, or an eighth, whatever. Someone can do the math on that. How much that was? Probably a 16th or something. 170.2 or whatever. So there's a random pond on a ice cave level. I still don't know what generates those, but I'm thinking of what to do here. And I decided it would be just the best to blow a hole in there, so the water disappears. Also, there's a lot of UFOs here, as it generally is on a 4th of July level, obviously, because that is your entrance to the mothership. And I'm trying to make a plan here. I see this idol, and I don't want to lose that in a way I lost the last one. So I'm already trying to make plans here. Also, I'm checking if this is the bottom level for some reason, even though I clearly see the arrow that comes from the compass here. So no idea what I did there, why I checked that. But I guess I wanted to make sure there's nothing down there. So I guess there's like nothing wrong with that, even though it looks kind of weird. But whatever. So I still don't have my spikes, like the shoes that allow me to do more damage. My spike shoes. Gotta use another rope here. At this point I feel pretty safe in my rope situation, I guess, because I still have 13 and this is almost the last ice caves level. I'm thinking about bombing through there, or I'm thinking about somehow using that mine, and I think I decided to use the mine in the end. It looks like I'm going for the mine here at least. So yeah, I'm going for the mine. Get the fuck out of Dodge. And like, this guy is still worrying me, as well as this guy down where that arrow leads. And this is a bad situation for a shopkeeper, really, to be in. But this hole served a pretty good purpose here. I'm thinking about how to get this not sapphire, but the emerald here. And I do a pretty good job getting that one, to be honest. Oh, that's pretty good. There's one of the UFOs that are worrying me, so I can get rid of that one, which is kind of nice. That guy up there, still, like, watching this, I know he won't do anything to me, but that guy still scares me. Even as I'm post-commentating this. Well, this guy is pretty much locked away, so I can't get that one. Well, at this point I have 27 bombs left going to the UFO, and there's no gems within the walls of the UFO. So pretty much that's what I'm stuck with, 27 bombs. Like 26 if I find some gem to bomb. I obviously don't remember 100%. So I'm giving it my all here. I'm also, I guess I'm probably thinking about going for that diamond over to the right away. But I decide that would be kind of dangerous as well, so I don't do it. I rather don't do it. Like, if this was live commentated, you probably could have heard me decide whether to go for that or not go for it. And here finally I decide I don't want to wait an extra round and just go for it. Which isn't that big of a deal because there's a hole at the bottom of this thing here, so it's not really that big of a problem. Now this UFO guy is about to shoot my idol, and that kind of worries me. I'm giving it my best at that point not to lose anything of value here. Also, that UFO died up there, I have no idea. He probably, like, my guess would be either shoot a corpse, he either shot a corpse which I didn't see, or he shot himself. Like, if they're exactly at the bottom, they can shoot themselves. I have no idea. Might be. Also, now I make that guy shoot, and I fear for my idol head here. And see, that breaks. So it, like, on floor 1, there can't possibly have been some explosive that knocked away the idol head, but whatever. I finally get this guy, which is pretty satisfying, like, after such a long time of him trolling me. And we enter the mothership with almost 900k. Can you imagine? Can you imagine how big this run could have gotten on the City of Gold? Then again, on the City of Gold I wouldn't have had that much money to get, because pretty much I wasted all my bombs on other stuff. Not all my bombs, but half my bombs, which I could have used on the City of Gold. Then again, I still don't know how much money the average bomb on the City of Gold gives you, so I don't know if it's better to just bomb other stuff. I dropped my shotgun here, and obviously I can't live without my shotgun. Anyway, I'm about to go to the mothership, and this is where I'm gonna cut the episodes. So I thank you guys for watching. If you like the content, please make sure to subscribe to not miss the next episode, and see you in the mothership.